Hey scholars, we are doing our second lesson for context clues. And today we are going to be talking about what does it mean to infer. And Miss Esther drew a big question mark here because when we infer, we have to think about what's happening already in our story. We have to think about what the author has already told us. We have to think about what characters are doing. We have to think about a lot of things. So when we infer, that means the answer is not right there. So you can't take your magnifying glass and zoom in because sometimes the answer is not there. We have to really kind of think about what we have already learned, okay? But this is still a way for us to figure out an unknown word, okay? So when we infer, it can sometimes be in a nonfiction story, okay? Nonfiction, we learned in our last lesson that means true, but inferencing usually happens in a fiction story, okay? Fiction means that it's not real, okay? It's a fantasy. It's a made-up story, okay? So when we infer, it typically happens in a fictional story. So let's look at our anchor chart again. Context clues. These are clues that good readers use to determine the meaning of unknown words. We can look at pictures. We can look for helping words. We can use words that we know, sometimes the definitions, and sometimes synonyms and antonyms. So these are words that are the same and words that are opposite. But today we're really going to focus on right here, some of these helping words, okay? So when we are inferring, we have to look at everything we have just read. So we're going to practice a couple today together, and then you are going to do some by yourself. Okay, so we're going to do this one together, and then you're going to move on into the Nearpod and complete some on your own. So let's look at question number 1 right here. Okay, I want you to follow along with Miss Esther as I read. Lauren loves to read. She frequently spends her Saturday afternoons curled up with a book. Okay, now let's talk about that sentence. It's asking us what this word means, frequently. Lauren loves to read. So that is helpful for me that she loves to read. She frequently spends her Saturday mornings curled up with a book. Okay, I also know that if people really love to read, because that was the word, loves, that they would spend Saturdays, right, curled up. That means snug, wrapped up in a blanket, reading a book. So now I know she loves to read, and I know she even does it on Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons. So what do I think the word frequently means? Let's look at our choices. The word frequently means never, often, and sometimes. Well, I know it's not this one, because if she loves to read, she's definitely going to read a lot. Sometimes means that she might do it like once or twice a week, but the word often means that they do it a lot. So I think frequently means often because I think she loves to read so much. So I'm going to circle B here. Okay? All right, let's do one more together. Maria noticed that Mrs. Lynn's curtains were still closed. Maria thought that was peculiar because Mrs. Lynn always opened her curtains every morning. So let's look at that sentence again. She noticed that her curtains were closed. Maria thought that was something because Mrs. Lynn's were always open. So something's going on here. She normally has her windows open, but they were closed. So let's see what we have. Odd, good, and stupid. Maria thought that was odd because Mrs. Lynn always opened her curtains. Maria thought that was good because she always had them opened, or Maria thought it was stupid. So the word peculiar, I would say it means odd, okay? Because she always has them open, but for whatever reason today, they're closed, okay? So again, we are practicing inferring, thinking out loud what we already know. We're looking for those helpful words like loves, always, okay, to make a choice. All right, so now you're going to practice 2 to see if you get them right, and then you're going to do 4 for an exit ticket, okay?